Let's talk to Adekunle Favour now, analyst with financial derivatives company. Good to have you, Favour. So, what are the key factors behind the recent drop in, palm oil prices in Nigeria? I was talking to my colleague earlier. It's still hard, finding original palm oil, at this time. But I guess it's good. The prices are dropping.
Good afternoon, Ladi. Thank you for having me. So yes, the price of palm oil has decreased, right, by 19.23%, and is currently at 10,500 naira for a 5 kg keg. And we know that palm oil is very crucial in Nigerian household. I mean, it's used for a lot of things. It's even used in, industries for detergents, noodles, even in ice cream and chocolate, surprisingly. Palm oil is a crucial, input. And we have seen that, the prices have dropped recently. And this is majorly because of the fact that it's a seasonal commodity and this is its harvest season, right? Palm fruit is highly available in supply right now, and it has increased the production of palm oil, which is gotten from it, right? Increasing supply in the market, also exerting, downward pressure on prices. Another factor that I would say is contributing to this decrease in the price of palm oil is what I would like to call cheaper imports, or let's say smuggling, right? So a lot of this commodity comes from even neighboring countries, right, at a more cheaper rate, bypassing or even boycotting the proper standard procedures are needed to be followed for these things to come into the country, the import duties to be paid. And, that coupled with the fact that there's an increase in supply now would lead to prices going down. And local farmers would also be discouraged by this, but they'll be forced to bring down their prices as well because they need to sell, right? So these factors have contributed to a decline in the price of palm oil.
So how will the lower prices, how would that affect food inflation? I guess that's also good for industrial costs.
Yes, Laddie, it is. So I'll say what we have here is a paradox, so to say, because this is good for consumers. I mean, it's highly used in the Nigerian household to make a lot of things. And so a decline in the price of palm oil is good for consumers. It helps us to be able to afford that at a more lower price, at a lower price rather. However, this isn't good for this isn't good for the farmers that depend on this for their profit. It could erode their profits as well as discourage them, and their incentives to further produce, and this could potentially reduce Nigeria's output, of palm oil. It's also good for the manufacturers, like I said, this is a situation of paradox. Manufacturers that make things like detergents, and the likes, it's good for them because their costs of the input will come down, further reducing production costs. And for food inflation, right, it might have an effect, but not so much of an effect because it's not the only thing or item in the food inflation basket, and there are other items like rice and beans that carry much or more weight than palm oil, and so it might not really have so much of an effect, especially if the prices of these other commodities I just mentioned are going in an opposite direction.
Yeah, definitely. We need all of them to go in the same direction at this point. Thank you so much, Adekunle Favour, analyst, financial derivatives company. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.